Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto Was Disowned by everyone. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the new series What If Naruto Became the Wind God and enjoy that guys. And also stay tuned for the rest of the what ifs coming your way, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last part we left off, the group went into the Forest of Death. As Naruto went in there on his own, many other ninjas from many other villages wanted him dead for things he'd done in the past. So they kept on coming after him until a pile of bodies surrounded him because he killed every single one of them. Meanwhile, Orochimaru caught up with Team 7 as Sabeki faced off against him and told Sakura and Sasuke to get out of there. As she screamed at Sasuke to go, so he picked up Sakura and started to go away, and he told her he'll be back. As she faced off against Orochimaru, but she stood no chance as he revealed himself taking off his disguise as the both of them clashed against each other. As she couldn't give up because Jane told her to survive. Hearing that, Orochimaru started to laugh as he couldn't believe the boy has wormed his way in already. And it seems like he already had some people under his control by messing with their head. As he slammed the seal on Sabeki's stomach as it knocked her out. As Sasuke then came back, despite Sabeki telling him to run away, as he started to face off against Orochimaru himself, but he stood absolutely no chance. But Orochimaru still gifted him with the cursed mark seal as he placed it on Sasuke. As Orochimaru was about to leave the Forest of Death, when he came face to face with Naruto, as the both of them started to clash as it began. But after a while, Naruto stopped as he told him that he didn't really care what he did to Konoha. He hated this place as much as him. He only wanted to find his big brother and kill him. As Orochimaru was confused and curious, he thought that Naruto would want to kill him for him knowing too much. As Naruto told him, well, if they wanted to, as he activated his Mangekyo Sharingan, they can go all out if they want and call all the Konoha ninjas here as he pulled out one of the 3-pronged kunais. Orochimaru cursed, but he knew it was right if they were to fight all out. This would cause a lot of ruckus and just mess with his plans. So he bid him farewell, and next time he see him, he will kill him, which made Naruto chuckle. Some time passed as Naruto had to kill a few more genins who came in his way. As he was watching Sabeki, Sasuke, as Sakura was taking care of them as they were unconscious, he decided to sleep. When he woke up back, everything was in a ruckus, as the sound team came there and they were trying to heal the Uchiha. As Neji came out to protect Lee, as Lee got caught up in all of this, protecting Sakura. As Neji told Naruto to come out as well, seeing that he saw him with his Byakugan. It was then that Kin recognized him, as she told her members who he was, as they all shuddered in fear as he told them to leave. As they all bow in respect, Shikamaru asked Naruto, why do they know him? And why did the girl call him Sama? But Naruto told him to shut his mouth as he looked at the seal on Sabeki. But he couldn't do anything about that for right now. He had enough scrolls, so they went towards the tower. As he met Sabeki later on, her father didn't even tell her what happened to her. It seems like he wouldn't even tell her that she had the Kyuubi inside of her. As Temari come to talk to him, as she begged him not to kill her brother, well, he would, if she'd do whatever he say. As a smirk came on his face when he saw that she wasn't hesitating. So for the remaining time, he slept with her. It was finally time for the preliminary exams. As the group went out, the other matches were quite boring as Naruto didn't really pay attention to them. as Sabeki faced off against Kabuto, as Naruto made Kabuto look up. Kabuto and his eyes met for a brief second as Naruto uses Mangekyo Sharingan. Kabuto was caught in a genjutsu. Sabeki already had a Rasengan as she slammed it into Kabuto's stomach. And that was just too much for Kabuto's body to bear, as when they checked on him, he was dead. As Naruto went down to comfort Sabeki, but Hinata told him to get away from his daughter. It seemed that the man really hated him around his daughter, but Naruto simply shrugged it off, as it was time for him to fight now, as he was going up against Neji. So yeah guys, that was basically where we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So this will begin this new episode. Show him your power of youth, Neji, Lee shouted. A word of advice, Kizaraki. Fate has already declared me the winner of this fight, Neji said, as the both of them were now in front of each other. Oh, really, said Naruto. Fate deemed that you will lose and I will win today. Oh, really, I'm going to lose, said Naruto. Yes, that is your fate. And, said Naruto. That's all, said Neji, as Naruto burst out laughing. You know, you're really convincing. My eyes see many things, said Neji, but Naruto interrupted him. Your eyes? You mean your Byakugan? Oh please, your ridiculous clan will die out in the end because of your stupid arrogance. Neji's eyes burned with anger. How dare you, he said. What do you know about the Hyuga clan or our hatred, he asked. Actually, I really don't care. Not about you, not about your useless clan, and about your damn hatred. You dare mock the Hyuga clan, said Neji. Naruto laughed again. Clan, clan, clan. You speak almost like... As his eyes widened, as he remembered something. Clan. Family is everything. As he clutched his head in pain. That's not good. You should stop this match, Hokage-sama, said Uncle. As Hinata said nothing. Hokage-sama. Be quiet, Uncle, he said. Neji rushed towards Naruto at top of his speed, preparing to kill Naruto in one blow, seeing that he was distracted by whatever was going on. As Neji thrust out his hand to deliver a Jugen strike, but Naruto lifted up his head at that moment, as the both of their eyes locked. Neji saw coldness. Thousands of murders he just saw. Pure death. And he hesitated for a second there. And that was all the second that cost him. As Naruto withdrew his sword insanely fast, it didn't even touch Neji, but both of his arms were frozen in seconds. Before Naruto twisted his blade, Neji cried out in pain as both of his arms were severed off by the elbows. They dropped to the ground and shattered, seeing that they were already frozen in ice. As Naruto raised his blade up in the air as he was about to slice off Neji's head, but then cling. Another sword got in the way. Withdraw your sword, Kizaraki, Hayate said, trying to push Naruto back. Back off or you will be disqualified, but Naruto continued to press forward. This is your last warning, said Hayate. Naruto growled. Don't ever get in my way again, he said, as he sheathed his blade and started to walk away. Hayate glared, but he still had to announce. Winner, Jin Kazuraki, he said. Brother, big brother, Naruto said, a wicked smile on his face. I will find you, and I'll kill you. Stop right there. How could you do this to a fellow? Leave Shinobi, asked Lee. Get out of my way, trash, or else you're gonna share his fate. Lee clenched his fist until he felt a hand on his shoulder. Guy-sensei. Lee, stop. The both of them were in a match. And what has occurred is also Neji's fault as well. But he cut off Neji's arms, Lee said, and he was going to kill him. But remember, Neji was the one going for the first killing strike. Kizaraki here only countered his move. And the both of them were in a match. And it is now over. You cannot attack a fellow Konoha shinobi without being approved. You're right, Guy-sensei, Lee said. I apologize. The matches are all over, Hayate stated. Now I ask all winners to come down. Naruto scowled. He really need to release some steam. Here, the proctor said, he showed them a box. Each one of you will take a number from this box. This will determine who you will fight in Chunin exams in 1 month. What? We're not gonna do this now, Temari asked. No, you will have time to prepare. He says he let everyone take their number. After drawing their number, their names were placed out on the board. The first match will be Temari versus Sabeki. Looking forward to it, said Temari. The next match will be Rock Lee versus Orochimaru. Yes, said Lee. The next match will be Uchiha Sasuke versus Hinata Hyuga. The fourth match will be Jin Kazuraki versus Gaara of the Sand. As Gara looked over, Mother, we'll have your blood, Rattlesnake, he said. But Naruto said nothing. And the last match in the first round will be Abermashino versus Konkru. Now you know your opponents. Be at the Chunin Stadium at noon, the same day in the next month. Dismiss. Time skip at the hospital. Jin Kazaraki, you are forbidden to see the Hokage's daughter, and that's an order. Leave immediately, or I will force you. As Naruto smiled, no need to be violent, Jonin-san, he said. Look, I'm leaving, as he started to walk away. I guess I can still visit Tenten. Moments later, Jin said Tenten as she sat up in her bed. How are you doing, girl, Naruto said as he walked inside. I'm fine, she said. Better tell me, those rumors are not true, right? Rumors, said Naruto, that you cut off Neji's arms. Oh, of course not, he said. Tenten sighed in relief. I froze them first and I cut them off, said Naruto. Tenten gasped. How could you do that? Weren't the rumors saying that Neji tried to kill me first? No, they only said about you cutting off his arms. Well, yeah, you see, I had a little breakdown in our fight, and he decided to use it. I'll be honest with you, I tried to kill your teammate, and if not for that proctor, I would have done it. A frown came to her face. I don't like it, but it was a death match after all. Neji knew the danger, and he underestimated you. Naruto smiled. Thanks, I knew you'd understand, he said. She shrugged. We are shinobi. We face death every day, whether it's our enemy or it is our friend. Well, he isn't actually dead. His ninja career has gone to a toilet though. But he's still alive though. To tell the truth, I always thought that he would end up like this, she said. Always speaking about destiny, and that fate has already made him the winner. And to the way he mocked poor Lee. Who? My other teammate, she said. Oh yeah, that guy, said Naruto. Hey, I'm gonna be out tomorrow. Can we train, she said. Tempting. But I have plans for this month. Sorry girl, maybe next time, he said. Oh, okay, she said. Moments later, the Hokage's tower. What do you think, Ibiki? Hokage-sama. During the match, I felt a surge of power coming from somewhere else. And it is safe to say that your daughter did not cause Kabuto's death. Are you certain? Hinata asked. Yes, I had a member of the Yamanaka clan scan his brain. The results were astonishing. What did you found? We learned before he was hit by Sobiki Rasengan, he was caught in a genjutsu that made him felt like he was being burned to a crisp by a dark sun. That is why he screamed so much. I don't know any genjutsu like that, said Minato. Neither do I. But whoever the attacker was, he was no genin, that's for sure. I see. Is that all? No, that was actually the less important part, said Ibiki. Continue, said Minato, as Ibiki nodded. Apparently, while scanning Kabuto's mind, we learned something very big. Kabuto was actually Orochimaru's spy, and he was close to the traitor himself. Minato eyebrow rose. No, that's interesting, he said. That certainly narrowed down the list of suspects. Why is that, Hokage-sama? Asked Ibiki. You don't get it, said Minato. Kabuto's killer must have known about his spy status. That's the only reason someone would want him dead. That actually narrowed down the list to one person. Jin Kazaraki. Ibiki's eyes widened and his fist clenched at the name. Why him, Hokage-sama? When he first came here, he gave me info on Orochimaru. That means he was acquainted with Orochimaru. Obviously, he was acquainted with the snake servant as well. Should we arrest him? Ibiki asked eagerly. He should have told us, but no, I don't think we should. I'll talk to him later about that. He only spared us the time to catch that Kabuto ourselves. The only thing I don't like is that he's getting so close to my daughter. But I cannot count that as treason, now can I? At Naruto's apartment, damn, I just can't get enough of this, Tamara said, as she used Naruto's chest as a pillow. You know, you actually look better with your hair untied, said Naruto. Maybe, but they get in the way in a fight, she said. Oh, fight, Naruto said in annoyance. What is it, she asked. Sorry babe, but I have things to do before this day ends, he said. Aw, she pouted. Don't give me that face, he said. Better go check on your brother. Fine, I'm going, she said as she slowly got out of bed. Say, do you remember our schedule for the finals? He asked. I guess, she said. Why? Do you remember who fighting against the Uchiha? The Uchiha, she thought. Oh yeah, the super shy girl from your village. Ah, thanks, he said. Don't mention it, she said. See you soon. I hope so, said Naruto as she left. Good girl, he thought as he got out of bed. Smart, strong, pretty. as he put on his pants. Suddenly, there was a knock at his door. Maybe she forgot something or said open his door. As Naruto opened it to see, huh? It was a girl from Hidden Sound. Did Orochimaru send you to kill me? That's rather insulting, he said. I'm not here because of Orochimaru, she said. Oh? Then why? I have nowhere else to go, she said. I don't do charity, said Naruto. Please, Rattlesnake-sama, she said. Help me survive, I'll do anything, she asked. I don't need anything. Actually, there's one thing, he said. Come on in. She happily did. So, what's your name again? He asked. Kin, she said. Sobeki Kin. Yes, I remember now, said Naruto. So, you want to survive, Kin? Yes, my team failed, and Orochimaru-sama doesn't treat failures well. I heard that, said Naruto. Alright, here is what I'm going to offer to you. You listening? She nodded. You see, there's a group of people in this village, 3 to be exact. These 3 people are in desperate need of a slow and painful death. You following me? She nodded. Good. Now these people are hard to get to. Originally, I was planning to offer them my services, but you being here opened other options. I see. You want me to lure them out for you. Smart girl. Now here's the deal. You will lure those people out for me, and I'll make sure you stay here in Konoha. As a ninja, even. Alright, she said, I'll do it. But I'm not that exceptional as a shinobi. Naruto smirked, maybe, but there's something else you can offer. Meanwhile, at Sobeki hospital room. Where is he? Sobeki asked in frustration. He told me that you would come. Suddenly, idea struck her. Hey, Jonin-san, she said. Yes, Namikaze-sama? The guard asked. Did anyone came to visit? Well, I would appreciate an honest answer, she said. Alright. You did get a visit earlier. And who was it? I am not. Who was it? She asked. The guard sighed. Jin Kazuraki, he said. Then why wasn't he allowed to see me? She asked. It was by the orders of my father, she said, cutting him off. Yes, said the guard. I see, she said. You're dismissed. Out on the streets. Why am I wearing this? Kin asked. You have to look neutral and not in your sound outfit, said Naruto. Makes sense. So what are we doing here? Do you remember what to say, Naruto asked? Yes, I do, she said. Are you sure this is going to work? Naruto shrugged. It's the best bet. Now, go inside this bar. Take this earphone. I will give you additional commands if I find it necessary. As Kin put in the earpiece. Okay. Am I good now? Pretty much. Off you go. Where will you be? She asked. You won't see me, but I will follow you constantly. Go. Kin nodded as she entered the bar. We do not serve kids, the bartender stated. Leaf may fall, but the roots will remain, Kin said in an emotionless tone. The bartender's eyes narrowed dangerously. How do you know that? I have information for your master. Take me to him, and you will receive his gratitude. The bartender hesitated. And who do you think my master is? Danzo, the leader of Root. Do not try to lie. I am very well informed. The bartender snapped his finger at 4 Anpus appear around Kin. Check her for weapons. I'm unarmed, she said as she lifted up her arms. She's telling the truth, one of the Anbu said after shaking her. Pretty bold of you, the bartender said. Anyway, you have to understand that Danzo-sama is a very busy man. You must have very important information in order to see him. Her face showed no emotions. Are Orochimaru plans and the location of his hideouts good enough, she asked. The bartender's eyes widened. Ah, important indeed, he said. I only wondered how did you stumble upon it? I used to be Orochimaru's subordinate. Used to be? He betrayed me, said Kin. And I don't really take betrayals well. I see. Good motive, said the bartender. Very well. The next moment Kin was knocked unconscious. Take her to the headquarters. The 4 of them nodded as they took her body and jumped away. A wicked smile was on her face as he appeared from the darkness. Moments later, the Root headquarters. Where am I? As Kin opened her eyes, she was on the floor. Is this Root headquarters? She wondered, remembering the last thing that happened. It is, said a voice. As it was coming from the earpiece. Rattlesnake-sama? Where are you? She asked. I'm already here. Whatever happens, do not panic. This must be done as quietly and quickly as possible. Remember, your job is to distract them long enough for me to deal with them. I remember, please be careful, Rattlesnake-sama. Call me Jin. Suddenly, the door opened. Girl, come with me now. Danzo-sama will see you. Moments later. So, you claim to know about Orochimaru and his plans, said Danzo. So this is Danzo, Kin thought. Naturally, she said, I was one of his subordinates. That means nothing, Danzo said, and Orochimaru does not trust his subordinates, which means you got the information elsewhere. Shit, Kin thought. He doesn't believe me. Do not panic, I am almost done, Naruto said. Now, say this. You are very sharp, Danzo-san, said Kin. I got the information from Kabuto. He was a spy in Konoha ranks. In reality, he worked for Orochimaru. Kabuto, Orochimaru said. Wasn't he killed in the Chunin exams preliminaries? He was, which is part of the reason why I'm here. Orochimaru never trusted me. But Kabuto was another case. After his death, I do not think Orochimaru would keep me around for long. Understandable, very well. Let me hear this information that you have. It will be more useful if you have a map, said Kin. Danzo snapped his finger as one of his root agents appeared, as he placed a map right in front of them. Alright, Kin says, she pointed towards the map. Here, Ricefield Country. The hidden zone is there. More specifically, right here, she said. Excellent. What about his plans, Danzo asked. He planned on attacking Konoha in the finals of the Chunin exam. His main goal is to kill the Hokage. Danzo's single visible eye almost beamed with pure utter joy. That was very interesting, young lady. What do you want in return for your services? Change of plans, Naruto said in the earpiece. Say this. Wait a moment, Danzo-san. What is it? I have more information to tell you, said Kin. Something I didn't mention before. And what might that be, Danzo asked. I think you should call Homura and Koharu-sama for this. And why is that, asked Danzo. The information is about Itachi Uchiha. Danzo sat in silence for a moment. Is it important, he asked. Very, said Kin. Very well, said Danzo as he snapped his finger. Two of his bodyguards then vanished. They will be here shortly. Moments later. Why have you called, Danzo? Asked Koharu, as Danzo bodyguards are behind the two elders. Before Danzo could say anything, ice covered the floor and covered the two elders and the two bodyguards. They were then shattered. All of the people were gone, like they weren't even standing there. As Danzo narrowed his eyes, what is this? Ah, finally. Naruto came from out the darkness. After all these years. Nice to see you again, Danzo-san. Kizuraki, said Danzo in disbelief. What do you think you're doing? Root, Danzo called. But nothing. As Naruto burst out laughing. Sorry, old man, but that won't work anymore, he said, as he kept on walking. As he went right beside Kin. Because you see, when this nice young lady was giving you the information, I was actually killing all your men, one by one. You, said Danzo, glaring at Kin. You have betrayed me. Huh? I never said I was loyal to you, she said in the first place. Danzo gritted his teeth. What do you want, Kizuraki? Money? Power? Ranks? Council membership? Nah, I don't want any of that, said Naruto. Then what do you want then? Well, you see, I kind of lied when I said it was good to see you again. As Danzo narrowed his eyes. That's right, we have never met before. Why did you say that? Oh, that's because the reason I'm here. And for what is that, Danzo said. Revenge. Excuse me, said Danzo. 6 years ago, you and your two elder puppets ordered an assassination of an entire clan. I don't really care about said clan, but the most important person in my life back then was killed because of your order. Who was that person, said Danzo. Uchiha Mikoto. Danzo's eyes widened hearing that. I should have known. Her infatuation with you back then was sick. I am glad that she died, Danzo said. Shut up, Naruto says, he summoned his katana. For that, you will die in the worst possible way. You fool, Danzo said. Release! As he released the bandages from around his arm and the gauntlet. You should know, even though my root, I am still not an easy opponent to take down. Kin decided to be smart as he ran to the farthest corner of the room. Wow, that's a shit ton of work that you've done to yourself, said Naruto. Now do you understand? No one can best me with his arm and these eyes, Danzo said. Huh, sure. Keep telling that to yourself. As Naruto fired ice blaze at Danzo, which he quickly evaded. Not good enough, boy, said Danzo as he pulled out his own blade. As Naruto launched at Danzo, the both of them clashed in a swords fight. The room was barely lit. They could only see each other's faces when they clashed together, creating sparks. As the both of them clashed again, Harisu, said Naruto, as Danzo's body got frozen over. as Naruto slashed it, breaking the ice. I am still here. Naruto spin around. Strange. I thought I just cut you in half. Now, do you see the extent of my strength, Danzo said. Do you really think you can defeat me, boy? With this technique, you can not stand in my path. Naruto chuckled. So you're using that, are you? Before his eyes became red, Danzo stepped back in shock and fear. How? But you're not a Uchiha, he said. The next thing Danzo knew, he was pulled into a black and red world. I guess I can tell you now. When Mikoto sacrificed her blood for me, it blended into my genes, giving me these eyes. That still means nothing, Danzo shouted. I have no fear. I do not feel pain in here. This genjutsu is nothing to me. Oh really now? You have no fear, do you? The next thing Danzo knew, the world around them shifted. They were now in a council chamber. Welcome, Danzo, to your own personal nightmare. For the next 72 hours, you will see how Minato Namikaze will lead Konoha to its imminent destruction. Danzo's eyes widened. I am lowering the security to our border, said Minato. No, Danzo said in fear, as Naruto chuckled. I am opening free access to our village. No, Danzo said. I am disbanding the council of the village. I am closing down the academy. No, said Danzo. In the real world, Naruto was grinning evilly. Izanagi, a technique that can shift the reality, but it can't create reality. As Naruto swung his blade, slicing off Danzo's arm. As he stabbed it, froze him Requiem. The thing froze before breaking the ice particles and just blowing away. Not yet, Naruto said as he ripped off the bandage off of Danzo's face. As he used his two fingers and plucked out Danzo's eyeball and crushed it to pieces. You won't be needing this anymore. As Danzo did nothing, he was still under the illusion. I promised you after all. Amaterasu, said Naruto. Danzo's body got covered in black flame, but he didn't scream. Screaming would be nice. But Naruto understood Danzo was still feeling all the pain, and that was good enough for him. I hope you will get everything that you deserve. At the bottom of hell, said Naruto. Is it over? Asked Kina. She came out. It is now, said Naruto, as he looked at her. Now, to deal with you, he said. Just nod your head at whatever I say, okay? As she nodded, come with me. Moments later, Hokage's office. Kizaraki, what is it? Asked Minato. Good day, Hokage-sama. There's something I wish to ask of you, said Naruto. Go ahead. This is Kin. She was my spy in Hinata. She has vital information for you in a chance to join the sanctuary of Konoha and join the village forces. Is it true? Asked Minato. You spy for Kizaraki while working on Orochimaru. I never worked for Orochimaru. I was Jin-sama's spy the entire time, she said. Minato looked at her for a second. What is the information? He asked. Kin nodded. Orochimaru is going to attack Konoha during the finals of the exam. The signal will be given by Orochimaru himself from the Kage's box, where he will be disguised as a Kazekage, and the sand forces will help the sound ninjas in the battle. Minato eyes narrow, so those fools really decided to try it, he said. I also know the exact location of Hidden Sound. I can provide it if you need it, she said. Please do, said Minato. You are dismissed, Kizaraki. Yes, Hokage-sama. I'll see you later, Kin. Kin nodded. Oh, and one more thing, Jin. As Naruto turned, the next time you're going to kill someone you don't mind, content. Prepare to meet the consequences, said Minato. You are lucky I have my hands full right now. And the man that you killed was a traitor. Otherwise, you'll be having a nice day with Ibiki. Naruto's fist clenched in front of him. I understand, Hokage-sama, he said. Good. And stay the hell away from my daughter. Moments later, in Konoha training field. Son of a bitch. How did he find out? But it seems I'm too useful to dispose of before the invasion. Now what was I gonna do, said Naruto as he arrived at training grounds. Screw someone? Nah, already did that. Kill someone? Nah, already did that too. In fact, my Konoha campaign is officially over. Now all I have to do is wait for... yeah, exactly. As Naruto looked over to see Team 8 as they were currently training, as Hinata fell to the ground. Take me seriously, she says. She got back up. Oh. As Naruto remember. Flashback. Say, do you remember who's gonna fight the Uchiha in the finals? Why, Temari asks. I'm just asking, he said. I think it's that shy girl from this village. Thank you, Naruto said. End of flashback. As Naruto walked towards them, hey there, he says. He greeted Team 8. This caused mixed reaction. Hinata started shaking in fear. Kiba growled. Kurenai glared and Shino did nothing. What do you want, Kizaraki? Asked Kurenai dangerously. My, someone's hostile, Jin said. I was just passing through. Move along then, Kiba shouted. I wasn't talking to you, boy. I think some of your team members need to be taught proper manners, Naruto said. I will be the judge of that, Kurenai said. Now, if you don't want me to force you, I suggest you leave this place, quietly. Just what I needed, Naruto thought. Was it a challenge, Kurenai-san? As he raised his hand as a blade appeared, I accepted. Hinata gasped. Are you really that dumb to fight a Jonin? Asked Kurenai. Jin chuckled. I have faced people who are far meaner and dangerous and experienced than you. And I killed them all as well. Most of them at least. Very well then, she said. Kiba, Shino, Hinata, please back away. But Kurenai-sensei, that's an order, Kiba. Kiba scowled, but he obeyed. Ready, Kurenai-san? Naruto asked. Yes, come, she said. As Naruto waved his hand, Hishogen, a single blade of ice went towards Kurenai, but her body burst into sakura petals. A genjutsu, he said, turn around. He then flipped and kicked behind him. Gah! Kurenai was sent sailing back. I told you, genjutsu is useless against me. Kurenai got to her feet as she pulled a kunai, making her to laugh. You're going to fight me with that? Might as well tie your hands behind your back. Kurenai dashed forward. Slash. Naruto blade teared the kunai in half as he kicked her right inside of her head as she was sent sailing as she smashed into the side of a tree. You made a big mistake, Kurenai. You underestimate your enemy. As he was going towards her, Team 8 quickly jumped in his way. Get away from Kurenai-sensei, Kiba barked. How sweet, Naruto said, protecting her sensei. But that wasn't necessary. I wasn't going to attack again. As Naruto raised his hand, his blade disappeared. Is that enough, he asked. It is. Now will you stop interrupting our training? Asked Shino. Well, I wasn't going to interrupt you from the very beginning. He then turned to Hinata. Can I talk to you? He said. Like hell you are, said Kiba. Kurenai got to her feet. Why do you want to talk to her, Kizaraki? Please, call me Jin. Then why, Jin? Asked Kurenai. There's just something I wish to talk to her about, said Naruto. After what you did in Neji, Kiba screamed. What happened to that fool was his own damn fault and no one else's. You... Quiet, Kiba, said Kurenai. It's not your choice, but Hinata's. As Hinata hesitated, Oh, okay, she said. Alright, she agreed. Now can we have some privacy? As Kurenai walked up to her. If anything, I'll be right there. As Hinata nodded, Kiba growled, but he followed behind Kurenai and Shino as well. As Naruto then turned towards Hinata. What do you want to talk to me about? She stuttered. No, this won't do, he says. He stepped forward. Tell me, are you happy? He asked. What? She asked in a very quiet tone. Are you happy with yourself? Tell me. Come on, don't be shy. I won't tell a soul. I promise. Yes, I am, she said. It is useless to lie to me, because I only wish to help you, he said. Now I'm going to ask you something else. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve in this life? I want to get my father's approval, she whispered. And do you think you can do that the way you are now? He asked. Hinata said nothing. That's right. You may try to deny it, but your father is arrogant and prideful. He would never acknowledge a timid and shy person like you. Her eyes started to tear up. No, that's not the answer, Naruto shouted. Crying and pitying yourself will solve nothing. If you want to achieve your goal, you must change yourself. But how? She asks. I know just the way. But are you willing to take my help or not? He asks. Help? Why would you help me? She asks. I have a reason, he said, as he extended his arm. Now, do you want your father to be proud of you? Do you want everyone to see you for not a shy person anymore? He asked. She looked at his hand that he extended towards her. Yes, she said, quietly. I can't hear you, he said. Yes, she said, a bit louder, as a wicked smile came on Naruto's face. In a few seconds, Kiba was over there. What are you doing, Hinata? Why are you shaking hands with him? Why so angry, dog boy? It's just a handshake. We were not having sex, said Naruto. What? Kiba shouted, as Hinata blushed red at the word sex. What's going on, Kisaraki? Said Kurenai, walking closer. I told you to call me Jin, and your student right here has some imagination problems. What I... Kiba glared at Naruto. What did you say to her? I just offered some help. She has people to help her already, said Kurenai. Your help won't do shit here, said Naruto. If she stays as she is for any longer, well, she would be a lost cause. You won't go anywhere with him, Hinata. I won't allow it, said Kiba. Alright, Hinata, this will be your first lesson. Tell this dog boy to go and screw himself. I'll leave you the hell alone. Hinata paled. Do you want to change? Naruto asked. Yes. Do you want to become stronger? Yes. Do you want your father to be proud of you? Yes. Do you want me to help you at all? Yes, she said. Then do as I say, Naruto said. Who does this moron think that he is, ordering you around? This is not how the heiress of the strongest Konoha clan should act. Put that fool in his place. Hinata started to shake. Shut up, don't listen to him, Hinata. He will help her achieve her goals, Naruto said. And you are just standing in her way. You especially. No, don't do this, Hinata. You are a nice person, it will destroy your heart. You are better than this. Don't let him to do what, Naruto interrupted. You do realize that she's a ninja, right? There is no nice ninjas in this world. Hesitations mean death, and she will face hers if she stays like this. What will her father say if this happens? Hinata stopped shaking hearing that. He would say that I'm a useless mistake, unworthy to be a Hyuga, she said. Kurenai's eyes widened as Naruto grinned even more. No, Hinata, do not listen to him. As Hinata raised her head, Kiba. Be quiet, she said, and don't try to order me around. Naruto burst out laughing. Yes, he said, now that's the way. What are you planning on doing with her, Jane? Asked Kurenai. Oh, nothing bad, Naruto said, a little attitude adjustment. Now Hinata, come with me. As she followed him obediently. Kurenai Sensei, Kiba shouted as they walked out of the clearing. Why did you allow this? Kiba, said Shino. As he was there the entire time, he just never raised his voice. What, Shino? Asked Kiba. Jin is right. Hinata needs to change. She needs his help. What the hell are you saying? She's Kiba. He's right, said Kurenai. As much as I hate to admit it. But we won't be able to help her change. Become stronger probably, but change. No, Kazaraki might be the only one. Moments later, Konoha downtown. What are we gonna do first? Jin-kun asked Hinata. First, we're gonna go shopping, said Naruto. No, first, stop covering yourself all the time, and stand straight. Hinata shivered a bit. Naruto walked behind her. Heads up, shoulder wide, back straight. That's the way. Hinata tried to move her arms back again. You keep your arms right where you are. If I see you covering again, I'll cut your arms off, Naruto said. Understood? Hinata nodded. Good, he said. Now give me that jacket. Why, she said. Do as I say, he said. As she took off her jacket and gave it to him. As he threw it in the bin, you won't need this anymore. But, just come with me, Naruto said, as the both of them walked into a closed door. Why are we here, she asked. We are here to remodel your wardrobe. What was wrong about it, she asked. One of the main attributes of a kunoichi is their sex appeal. You won't seduce anyone in that outfit. Hinata blushed. Seduce? She said. As Naruto sighed. Okay, lesson number 2. Stop goddamn stuttering. Learn how to speak clearly. You will be a clan head someday, act like it. But Do you remember how your father speaks, Naruto asked. Yes. Then try and copy that. Okay, you will need this, this and this. Go try it on, he said. As he gave Hinata the clothes. She nodded as she went into the dressing room. 5 minutes later. Are you sure I should wear this, Jin-kun? Asked Hinata. Yes, at least she didn't stutter, he thought. Now show me. She moved the curtain as Naruto raised the eyebrow. Not bad actually. As her usual shirt got replaced by a very thin top that showed part of her belly. As she was wearing a black leather skirt. And she was wearing a black female sandals. Very nice, Naruto said. And don't even think to cover yourself. It's getting dark now. I actually don't give a crap what your father does. So we will continue tomorrow. Meet me 12 o'clock at the training grounds tomorrow. And if your father asks anything about your new outfit, say that is your new step to changing. And do not stutter. And tell him that you will make him proud. Alright, said Hinata. As she ran off. Okay, easiest part done, said Naruto to himself. I have to say, a voice spoke. I'm intrigued by what you're doing. You should know better than try and sneak on me, said Naruto. You think so, said Temari. I know so, said Naruto. By the way, what were you doing to the Hyuga girl? Naruto raised an eyebrow. What's the matter? Jealous? Of course not. I just got intrigued, that's all. Oh, is that so? But I'm sorry, I can't tell you. This is a part of my plan. And if you know anything about it, I would have to kill you. Temari sighed. Alright, fine, I got it, she said. Let's go to your place then. Didn't you get enough last night, Naruto asked. Nope, she said. And what about your brother, he asked. He's not my type, she said. Naruto rolled his eyes. That's not what I meant, he said. You know what, let's go. Time skip, Hokage's office. Genma burst into the office. Hokage-sama, we have an emergency. What emergency? Asked Minato. Danzo. He was killed. What? Said Minato. We found out that he did not disband his root squad, and we sent someone there to investigate, only to find a bunch of corpses on the way in. How did he die? Asked Minato. He was burned alive. And the elders, Homura and Koharu, they disappeared. What do you mean disappeared? Just like it sounds, they vanished on the face of the earth. We found their traces leading towards the root headquarters though. What are you gonna do, Hokage-sama? Asked Genma. About what? About what I just told you. Do you know who did this? Minato asked. No. Well, neither do I. And as long as you stay that way, we can do absolutely nothing. You're dismissed, Genma. As Genma went off. Someone took care of Danzo's along with the elders. Those old fools were a thorn in my side the entire time. The only question is, who would want them dead? No, wait a second, there are hundreds of people like that, me included. But who out of these 100 is capable of infiltrating Danzo's base? Killing everyone inside and leaving without anyone noticing. Quite a feat. The door then opened. Something bothering you? He lifted up his face. Kushina. A joy for sore eyes, he said. Kushina chuckled. How is your day? She said. Hellish. I hate paperwork, he said. I just need to kill something right now, he said. Easy, Tiger, she said. Nothing much to kill here. Not quite, said Minato. What is that supposed to mean? Asked Kushina. Well, apparently Danzo continues the little root organization, despite my order to stop. And someone took him out along with his base, all of his people and elders. Wait a second, the elders? As in the elders? Yes, Sir Tobi's old teammates. Minato, but this is a disaster. We must find the killer and calm down, Kushina, said Minato. That killer actually did me quite a favor. I was planning on doing it myself after all. Minato, you... Yes, they were pushing it. I am the Hokage of this village, but every move I make, they try to upvote it or try to upturn it, thinking that they have any control here. But no buts, Kushina. They were told to leave like the third did, but they just couldn't give up the power. Yes, power. It's a dangerous thing, said Kushina. The next morning, in the hospital room, Dad, said Sobeke. Hey, how are you doing there, Princess? Said Minato. Oh, I've been doing great unless you count the order. Do you remember it? Minato paid a bit. What order? The order you gave to that guy outside. You told him to not let Jin inside. Why? She said. Look dear, said Minato. This guy is dangerous. I didn't want to say it, but you should try your best to stay away from him. What? She said. It's for your own good. I know what's good for me. Thank you very much, Sobeke yelled. Minato looked hardened. Sobeke, I'm your father, and I don't want to see my daughter around someone like Jin Kazaraki. He was named criminal by many countries, and rightfully so. Stay away from him. Sobeke glared. As you wish, Hokage-sama. Minato's heart ached. She never called him that. Alright, he said. Now we should discuss your training for the finals. Fine, what will Kakashi teach me? Nothing. I'll be training you myself. She glanced at him. I'd rather Kakashi teach me, she said. He will be teaching Sasuke. Are you done? I guess, he said. Then you should leave. I need to rest, she said, as she turned away from her father. Minato sighed as he stood up. She will understand someday. As he walked out of the room. Meanwhile, Naruto yawned. Sorry I'm late, he said. It's okay, said Hinata. So what are we gonna do, she asked. Alright, you're gonna be impressing the village, along with your father. How, she asked. By fighting the Uchiha and beating him. Sorry, Jinkan, but I don't think that I'll be able to defeat Sasuke, she said. No, not defeat, you're going to beat him. But later about that. With my help, you will do this. But let's start with some basic first. But guys, be in a subscribe right here. Remember to stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way, and go ahead and check out the new What If Naruto became the Wind God, and enjoy that, guys. But for now, Motive here. See you guys soon. Peace.